And we are live. Good morning, crypto warriors, and welcome back to Gentlemen of Crypto, episode 1171. Today is Monday, November 20th, 2023, and I'm King here to bridge the gap between the community and crypto, most days, Monday through Friday at 10ish. And today's top stories: crypto exchange Bullish completes purchase of Coindesk, according to the Wall Street Journal. Bitcoin-friendly Javier Milei wins Argentina presidential election. dYdX raises margin requirements in some markets, bans highly profitable trades. ENS developers urge unstoppable domains to drop patents or face lawsuit. And free-to-play Web3 games hold the key to mass adoption, says YGG co-founder. But first and foremost, of course, let's go ahead and take a quick look at these prices on the day, see what's going on in the world of cryptocurrency and Bitcoin, of course. Woo, a lot of pumps. Bitcoin coming in at $37,340, up 2.47%. Ethereum at $2,033, up 4.19%. Ripple at number 5 at 62 cents, down 0.13%. Solana at $59.80, up 0.26% at number 6. Number 9 is Dogecoin at 8 cents, up 3.33%. And number 10 at 10 cents is Tron, up 1.09%. Listen, you all know I am not a Tron shiller, but I pay attention to tokens. Literally 6 months ago, 8 months ago, we were looking at Tron at being like 6 or 7 cents and just hooving around there. And they, continually increase. I know some of you all love it on this channel for some of the things they're doing in the background. So something I'm definitely paying attention to. Very interesting as well. Polygon Matic has actually shifted down to number 13 at 85 cents. Still keeping, for the most part, his market cap. It looks like they've been overcome by a couple other ones. But they're also up 1.35%. So they're still healthy as well. But again, those top 10s are about to do that shifting here in the next few months, so pay attention. And to be real, the ones that are in the top 10 have actually been there and lasted for a pretty long time. They kind of went out a couple times and back in, but for the most part, this is the same top 10 of the last year, so of 2023. So that's actually pretty cool to see. We don't often see that. Every 6 months, you kind of see them rotate, but to see the same top 10 in there for the past year, for the most part, has definitely been pretty interesting this year. I think this is probably one of the first years we've seen that, actually. So, all right, let me give some quick shout outs. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the show. Welcome. I hope you caught that stack show beforehand. I think Trek had one this morning, Weekend Crypto. I know I saw the stack one pop up. They said President Obama was admitting there was what was the title? I saw the title earlier this morning. I got to go back and check it out. Obama acknowledged the economy is rigged, essentially, something like that. So make sure you're checking out those shows. What's going on? Wisdom Bars, PFC Wells, Patrick Walter, KW1, Chloe Dior, Magnolia Pelican, Level 99 Slacker, Satoshi Sun. Listen, I woke up listening to Bootsy Boo, Webby, and then I threw it on some E40 to make me more relaxed. I would have been on a straight up rant if I would have came on here off Bootsy. So I had to throw it on some E40. Welcome back to the mob, wherever that new song is. Shout out E40, great music. All right, top story of the day. Of course, Coindesk is no longer owned by who they once were. They have officially made the sale. Crypto exchange Bullish completes purchase of Coindesk, according to the Wall Street Journal. Bullish, which is run by former New York Stock Exchange President Tom Farley, brought 100% of Coindesk from crypto-focused investor DCG in an all-cash deal. First and foremost, I do want to give a hand clap. And this is why the hand clap is there. Coindesk is one of the first and more prominent news organizations for cryptocurrencies. Of course, Cointelegraph is probably the second, the larger one. But it kind of goes to show that, hey, they were first to the party. They built something. It wasn't even that crazy. I mean, it's a news aggregator. They updated it. They kept on top of it. And years later, you literally have an old president of the New York Stock Exchange saying, I see the value and controlling the narrative and news of cryptocurrency, or having a way to do that or influence it. I want 100% of this straight cash. So again, even cooler to see and funnier to see, you sold essentially a crypto news company for cash. You sold a crypto news company for fiat off the bat. So shout out to them. I'm glad to actually see that they built something that was able to sell it. Of course, cryptocurrency exchange Bullish has bought Coindesk. Wall Street Journal's reporting. Bullish is run by former New York Stock Exchange President Tom Farley, who bought the crypto-focused investor digital currency group in an all-cash deal, the journal said. Financial terms of the deal were not disclosed. Private deal, of course. They probably don't want people to know how much they're getting paid and making off this. But I don't know. Let's have some fun here. If I had to guess, I'm not going to go crazy like some 100 million. Like they're not there yet. But for Coindesk, I think anywhere from 30 to 50 million is fair. I think 30 to 50 million for this is actually pretty fair. So if the number were to come out later and they say, yeah, they bought this for 40 million, 35, 27, I'm thinking 30s to 50s is what I'm thinking off the top of my head. However, with all their other portfolios, Barry Silbert, was not his main thing. This wasn't the crown jewel. This is one of the things. And I'm sure this would just be one of the things for Bullish as well. They'll have other crown jewels. So if that's the case and other assets can make this one more valuable because of the way it's tied into the portfolio, I could also see something crazy. They said, hey, this actually went for 50 to 60 million. I can see that as well. I wouldn't expect it. I wouldn't want to pay that type of money. I think 30 to 50 is a good number for what they've been doing, especially with the competition in Cointelegraph. And again, they're not doing anything crazy. It's an aggregate website, essentially. I'm sure they have some in-house editors, authors, and things like that, but I'm not sure they're doing all those articles themselves. But again, really cool to see that this was picked up and bought. I mean, it makes you wonder, how much is Cointelegraph worth? I mean, with the artwork itself, right? If you sell those artworks that pieces of NFTs on everyday stories, I mean, I could see Cointelegraph being worth an easy 100 mil, if not 120 mil. So I definitely think they're a little bit bigger than Coindesk. But again, cool to see the traditional market is paying attention. I expect to see this happen not only when it comes to news websites, but everything across cryptocurrency. I wouldn't be surprised to see JP Morgan Chase or Facebook, for that matter, say, hey, you know what, Coinbase, you did it. You did a great job. You did everything. All right, we'll buy this thing for 200 billion now or something. Like that would not surprise me to see. I mean, we've already seen it with Poloniex. They bought a dead exchange, Circle did, for 300 million. You think someone won't come and buy an exchange that's alive and well? I think it will happen. It will just be about which group or organization comes together to do it. But yeah, that's the next step when you're reaching parity here in this space. People come in and buy some of the things that are there. So again, really cool to see. So that's awesome. All right, Bitcoin friendly Javier Milei wins Argentina presidential election. Listen, when I read this article, you guys are going to like, oh man, your teeth are going to get whiter and you're going to shit yourselves. All right, seriously. Like I read that when I saw this headline, I was like, let me skim through it real quick to make sure this isn't a fluff article and this guy is really Bitcoin friendly. And oh my, did my teeth get white? Listen, essentially, imagine a semi-common version of me who just became the Argentina president. That's right. This guy does not fucking like central banks. Let's get into it. Oh man. Milei won over 55% of the votes, with 99% of the votes counted in the runoff presidential election. That's right. Argentina's Bitcoin-friendly Javier Milei won the country's presidential runoff election on November 19th, beating out his opponent Sergio Massa. With almost 99% of the votes counted, Milei won over 55% of the votes, giving him a nearly 3 million vote lead, according to Bloomberg data. So people want this guy to win. Massa, the country's minister of economy. Wow, you're the country's minister of economy and you lost? Goodness gracious, you must be getting people broke. If you was minister of economy and everybody was eating, you should automatically win. Called Milei to congratulate him on the victory. After more than 90% of the votes were counted, before the announcement of the first official results, Milei will take office on December 10th. All right, now let's get into it. Argentina's long-lasting inflation crisis has been a heated topic in the South American country, with an Argentine peso recording a 140% increase in annual inflation in the last 12 months. And the guy responsible decided to run for president. That's hilarious. Milei has been vocal about his criticisms toward the country's central bank, referring to it as a scam. The central bank a scam? Listen, if anything happens to this president, is it fair to say we can blame the dirty banker? Seriously, if anything happens to this president, go outside and knock a banker out that morning. I am dead serious. But again, Milei has been vocal about his criticisms toward the country's central bank, referring to it as a scam and as a mechanism by which politicians cheat the good people with inflationary tax. Wow. He is in on the end. He knows what's up. He referred to Bitcoin as a movement toward the return of money to his original creator, the private sector. However, he has not signaled any intention to make Bitcoin legal tender in the country. This is something I want to make a distinction toward, because for whatever reason, humans these days can't make a distinction about it. And this is that. Just because you like something or I like something or whatever else, if you hold a public position, doesn't mean that will influence whatever you do, right? So in this example, the guy clearly hates central banks. He likes Bitcoin. All right, fair. But as soon as you become the president, you have to think about national security. You got to think about a lot more stuff than just what you like and what works for you and everybody else. So with that being said, he might have to take this, or I hope he takes this objective approach and say, all right, I know I like Bitcoin. I'm for it. I think this works and everybody should have it. But is my country ready for it yet, right? If we were to do an overhaul of the central banks, are we ready to start using a Bitcoin standard? And if the answer is no to that, then you're not ready to use a Bitcoin standard, right? You got to do what you've been doing. So it wouldn't surprise me if things continue on as normal the next year or two until he gets a footing on the political landscape and realm of what's going on. And then later, as he made improvements with the way things were, he adds new things like Bitcoin. Also wouldn't be crazy to see a radical shift where tomorrow he's like, yeah, we're going to try Bitcoin today. Like, right? Who knows? But the key thing is that he's well versed in it. He knows about it. He hates central banks. So it seems you won an election screaming out central banks are a scam. That shows your power that you have in your country already. So again, all signs are good to see this guy in office. If something happens to him, I'm serious. I lied. I said one. If something happens to this guy, on the same day we go outside, we take a trip to New York and we just knocking out bankers all day. Three apiece. Everybody knock out 3 bankers. If something happens to the Argentine president, we're not going for it, okay? Seriously, this is cool news because now we get to see what a Bitcoin forward-thinking, friendly president would do if in office. He's now in office. He likes Bitcoin. He doesn't like the central bank. We're about to stand on the sideline and watch. Again, just because he likes it, doesn't mean I think he's gonna go full tilt 100%. I will hope it'll be not a slow, but like, what's the word? Not slow, a strategic process. There it is. I hope he has a strategic process in play so there aren't any big mistakes made to where everybody can say, see, Bitcoin, the Bitcoin standard, Bitcoin doesn't work. We need cash. Like, I want this to be a strategic process and rolled out the right way. So everyone can say, wow, this really does work if he decides to do it. But regardless, can't wait to see. And again, if you were to come back out and be like, you know what, banks are great. I was wrong. Wouldn't surprise me either. He has to do what's best for his country. And when it comes to national security, again, the bankers are the ones starting war. So you got to play friendly with them as well until you figure out what the next move is. So again, this is Argentina president, what's his name again? Javier Milei, who had just won 55% of the vote already. Viva la libertad, carajo. You can see here in this X thread, this is pretty cool to see. Can't wait to see what he does next. But one thing's for certain is that he does not like the central banks. They must have did him wrong at one point. Y'all took some of my man's Bitcoin, y'all froze his account. He didn't want a presidential race. He messed up now. All right, dYdX is in the news, kind of showing you all why there are levels of decentralization. There are levels of decentralization, and most things that are decentralized aren't fully decentralized. dYdX raises margin requirements in some markets and bans highly profitable trades. Kind of like Jimmy Song said, it wasn't a hack, it wasn't an exploit. The smart contract was carried out as it was intended, as it was codified. Kind of what happened here, right? dYdX is screaming foul play. Basically, some people did some weird stuff that, again, technically you can because it's in the smart contract, but they exploited the systems and almost made away with a lot of money, which would have messed it up for everyone else. So dYdX came back out and said, hey, fine, you're not even allowed to do this anymore that can make you this big money or these type of trades because it can mess up the system, all right? The decentralized exchange increased margin requirements in several markets on November 18th after an alleged targeted attack on the YFI token triggered massive liquidation. So it was liquidated. dYdX has disclosed new measures to mitigate trading-related risk after burning $9 million of its insurance fund on November 17 to cover users' losses. According to an announcement on X, why do they keep saying formerly Twitter? I think we're there now, right? The exchange increased margin requirements on several less liquid markets, affecting tokens such as EOS, 0x Protocol, Aave, Algorand, a whole slew of tokens you can see here. dYdX triggered its insurance fund to cover users' trading losses on November 17 after a profitable trade targeting long positions on the YFI token caused the liquidation of positions worth nearly 38 million. So again, in layman's terms, in the short version of this, someone figured out a way to beat a bunch of individual tokens to make a lot of money on the entire system, and it worked for them. So again, it's one of those things where it's like the decentralized and centralized aspect of it, and what's right and what's right is that, hey, this is a part of your smart contract. This is a part of the codified smart contract, and they figured out a way to make it work for them. Like, let's be fair here. Figuring out a way to make this work isn't like it's not like easy. It's not like I could just stare at a computer right now for 5 minutes, but oh, I can just trade this and do this, and I can make away for $10 million. Like, no, you have to actually be smart and know a lot of technical things in order to do this. You have to know about trading. You have to know a little bit about coding and what you're doing on the back end, or what's happening on the back end, at least for the algorithm. Like, there's some things you have to know. Like, you have to be a subject matter expert to know this, to even be able to pull it off. So I do have to argue, like, yeah, it took some expertise. It was a trade. Like, that was a real analysis and a real trade that happened on the other end. Did it beat the system? Yes. Does the system, should it change? Yeah, for sure. It should definitely improve itself, make it more efficient, change that smart contract. But to say like this was almost like a wrong thing, was it? I don't know. I don't know, especially if they technically didn't do anything wrong versus beat a bunch of people who are going long. I mean, it's speculative play anyway. You went long on a bunch of altcoins. It is a speculative play anyway. So as long as there weren't any real foul play, I mean, they did what the code carried out. dYdX founder Antonio Giuliano dubbed the move a targeted attack on the exchange. According to the firm, YFI's open interest in dYdX spiked from $0.8 million to $67 million in a matter of days as a result of the actions of one individual. Again, this is why I always say a lot of this is still in beta, including dYdX. They just did an airdrop a year or two ago. Super still in beta to me. So again, you got $1 million, 2 million, 67 million, however much millions on a platform that's still in beta. It works, but it, like, how much are we going to be trusting these? So the same individual, according to Giuliano, attempted to attack the sushi market on dYdX a few weeks earlier. We did take action to increase initial margin ratios for YFI prior to the price crash, but this was ultimately not sufficient. The actor was able to withdraw a good amount of USDC from dYdX right before the price crash, he wrote. So it looks like, let's see, the highly profitable trading strategies have now been banned on dYdX in reference to the language used by Mango Markets exploiter Abraham Eisenberg in his $116 million attack of 2022. And of course, they're now offering a bounty on exchange of information, a bounty payment on exchange of information. But that kind of goes back to what I say. Like, what's the bounty for? Like, again, this, even if we were to take this to the regulators, Jimmy Song, shout out to him when he came on the show. He made a great point. This would be very difficult to prove to regulators that this was a targeted attack and something was wrong, rather than the person coming out and saying, hey, you don't need a bug bounty or anything to find me. I'm right here. I didn't do anything wrong. The smart contract said this. I figured out some loopholes in the smart contract and I beat it. So, I mean, technically, it's like, did they attack the system? I don't know. You all let me know in the comments. I've only skimmed the article, so I haven't done a deep dive on this. So if I'm wrong, let me know. But this is one of those things where it's like, and I'm not talking about dYdX, I'm not sure, but I am talking about 99% of the tokens and projects and companies out there. You have not done a security audit at all. Like, you haven't even done a security audit. You haven't done the audit and improved measures around it. Like, there's so many holes in the defense right now that these companies are just trying to grow big and get money and run instead of doing the right thing, such as simple things like cybersecurity checks and changing passwords. It's like, no, we're not about to blame every 17-year-old hacker out there just because you didn't do the basics out there. So again, I don't know the full deets of it. I don't know what's happening. That's my first time in my life ever using the word deets. I thought it was perfect right there for details. It worked out. Never did that before. I enjoyed it. It felt good. I'll try it one more time, I guess, for TV. But seriously, I don't know the full details of the extent of this, but the way it looks like the smart contract was exploited. On the flip side, if all those people would have made a ton of money short in the market and everything, I don't think we would have heard of a problem. But since one person made it and everyone else has got short, now we're kind of seeing the issue right here. Exactly. PFC Wills, I just said it. This is the house getting mad because a user got a big hit on them. I just, like, literally, that's what I'm talking about. We're in unison, man. It's like, you guys can't be mad because someone figured you out, but when you're winning, there wasn't a problem. I don't know. Again, I mean, this goes with the market. And then also layers of decentralization of votes. I'm not sure if a vote happened, but To just say this wasn't fair and now we're going to raise the stakes and change everything on the platform. Come on now. Looking real centralized when you do that. It's no good. All right, this next article, I don't know if I ever said this out loud. I definitely said it behind the scenes to a few people. Who didn't see this coming? ENS and Unstoppable Domains are finally publicly beefing. Folks, I saw this coming when it came out, and I was like, well, ENS, and then it was Unstoppable. I was like, I did say public. I think I said we'll see if they merge because I was trying to be more friendlier. I was like, maybe they'll merge instead of that bubble popping. ENS and Unstoppable kind of joint teams. I can see that. I think we did have one show where we talked about it, but regardless of a merge or whatever, right now the beef has happened. ENS said we can't take this no more. Today is the day you motherfuckers kick in. ENS developers urged Unstoppable Domains to drop patents or face a lawsuit. That's right. ENS developer Nick Johnson claims a patent granted to Unstoppable Domains in January is entirely based on ENS Labs innovations. Yes, it gets dirty. Whether that's true or not, we know it's a dirty game out here, especially when it comes to this patent work. Nasty work right there. The founder and lead developer of Ethereum name service ENS, Nick Johnson, is urging blockchain domains company Unstoppable Domains to drop a recently awarded patent or face a lawsuit, according to an open letter shared on X. In January, Unstoppable Domains was granted its first patent, US 11558344, which claims that Braden River Przewski, Matthew Everett, Good, and Bogan Gusov are inventors of a technology that uses blockchain technology to determine domains. The patent request was filed with the U.S. Patent and Trademark Office in 2021. Really quick, on another note, it'll be interesting to see as more patents pop up in crypto, how and when they'll start to get enforced. Because we know one thing, if any one patent gets enforced in crypto, you better believe Reggie Milton is about to get his patent enforced as well. So this is the wait game now to see which patent will get enforced by the United States initially, and then will it happen to the rest of them right after. According to Johnson, the patent is based entirely on innovations that ENS developed and contains no novel innovations of its own. The EMS documentation stipulates the Ethereum name service is a distributed, open, and extensible naming system based on the Ethereum blockchain. ENS's job is to map human-readable names like Alice.eth to machine-readable identifiers such as Ethereum addresses, other cryptocurrency addresses, content hashes, and metadata. If this is true, you definitely should have patented it. In the open letter, Johnson claims that all the ENS work is under open source licenses, with all standards publicly available for implementation. Shout out to him, open source, keeping it like that. According to him, continued attempts to contact Unstoppable Domains about the issue have failed in the recent months. That means they know what they're doing. If this is true, they're saying, yeah, we know we got your missed call, and we're good on that. We're going to go ahead and let the courts do what the courts do. UD has subsequently issued a press release pledging its first patent to the Web3 Domain Alliance, an industry group founded and run by Unstoppable Domains. We appreciate the sentiment behind this, but regrettably, press releases are not legally binding. Johnson noted in the thread. One thing I want to say about that, press releases are not legally binding. What do I always say about these companies coming in and these traditional institutions coming in to steal the narrative? It is a real thing. The court of public opinion. If you can make everybody believe and feel like this is yours, you did it first, and you have a trademark, then it's basically yours at this point if they can fully convince the public. So it looks like that's what UD is working on. We are thus requesting that Unstoppable Domains put legal weight behind its PR commitment with an unconditional and irrevocable. I can never say this. I say it right in my head. I can never say it right out loud, and I tried it. And irrevocable patent pledge. Somebody has pronounced that out for me. I can say it. As soon as I turn off the show, I'm going to say it 3 times straight. I can't say it in front of you right now. I'm freezing. I don't know why. The ENS Labs is ready to challenge this patent, which we believe is entirely derivative of our own inventions, a position we are able and willing to demonstrate, Johnson warned. So again, Unstoppable Domains versus ENS Labs is officially kicked off. We get a new war for the end of the year to kick off next year. We'll see who wins the domain war. And somebody, there we go. Somebody pronounced that for me. I don't know what's going on. I usually can say that word, man. That thing's killing me today. Sounds like someone is trying to change their revenue models because the domain website landscape is changing, said PFC Will. All right, Satoshi Sum said I nailed it. Appreciate that. Hey, listen, that's that public school. All right, you can thank Detroit, Michigan, and North Carolina for that. Don't blame me. Last but not least, people, I'm excited about this story. not necessarily the story itself. The story, who cares, right? Like, here it is. Free to play Web3 games hold the key to mass adoption. YGG co-founder. I'll just do this top. Gabby Dyson, the co-founder of Yield Games, said a renewed focus on free-to-play gaming will help boost Web3 game adoption. Now, this is why this article is important. I agree with this. YGG, I'm not sure exactly what they're doing. They're probably they're probably doing some like new pump or switching something. But essentially, this article is about, hey, kind of like what Axie Infinity took $1,000 to start the game. He had to buy 3 different Axie characters, what is about $300 and some change a piece worth of Ethereum. So it came out to be like $1,001, $1,012 with gas fees or something like crazy like that. Now, most of these games are becoming free to play, where you can just click, log on, or whatever, and you don't have to log on. You can just click and play it. This is old. I know this is old, and I'll probably do a full breakdown of it soon or whatever. I know it's about a year old, but they had some updates, and I accidentally stumbled upon a game that is on the Solana blockchain, and I was like, oh, people, it's happening. It's happening. It's happening. It's happening slow, but it's happening. Let me know in the comments. Just say, I guess, put a 1 if you already knew, put a 0 if you didn't know. Who knew about this game, Mini Royale Nations, on the Solana blockchain? Mini Royale Nations on the Solana blockchain. Who knew about this? All right. I'm not sure who knew about this. I stumbled upon this yesterday. I was just trying to kill some time for a few minutes, went on crazy games and saw this. But this is a supposed new type of play to earn game on the Solana blockchain. This is not a shield for anything. I'm not exactly sure how it works or anything, but I know you can already connect your wallet. You can see here, connect your wallet to import your NFTs. I'm not even sure what wallet this actually is. So this is just an in-game browser wallet or an actual crypto one. But one of the things I did notice yesterday when I was playing is after a match or something, it said something about buying more something using Solana, or I earned Solana or something. And again, I had randomly clicked on it. I didn't even realize it was a play to earn game on the Solana blockchain. So I was like, wait, what? And the reason why it was exciting for me is because I already have played a few minutes. I was like, oh, this is what's coming, a free to earn game or whatever. This is a fun game, people. It is a legit fun game. All right, we got some zeros in there. Yeah, it's a legit fun game. Check this out really quick. I'm going to show you this. If this actually works and continues to work, so they can do this, or I guess it's already on the Solana blockchain, but they can figure out the token metrics. I did see the token for the game itself. I personally want to buy it. I think you need to have a kind of a hit game like a Call of Duty before those token metrics really kick in. But again, this game to play, all you have to do is just literally go on this website. You click on the game. You don't have to have a wallet or a email or anything. You don't have to have anything to play the game. I'm really just going to go into it just so we can see what we're working with now. But again, they have this thing linked already to the Solana blockchain. And yeah, I found myself playing it for like 30 minutes yesterday. I was like, oh my goodness, this is actually happening. And like I said, at the end, it told me how much Solana I either earned or I needed to buy something. It was weird, but it's very interesting, and it's happening, people. Again, this is Solana blockchain right here. So I'm going to jump around or something to play this game just so you can see the mechanics for a second. But it's actually a fun game. I'm about to get to drilling. I'm probably about to get to drilling some stuff early real quick in front of you all. I got slapped early. All right, here it is. Yeah, it's a fun game. It's a little shooter, run around or whatever. I'm playing on the laptop right now. I'm on my MacBook Pro. So again, if you actually have mouse and keyboard, it'd probably be more fun. I just had to give me my 1 for y'all real quick. Y'all know I'm a gamer. All right, let me get my 2 real quick, okay? I was on this all night doing the same thing, and I earned me some Solana, people, okay? So if this all you got to earn Solana, I'm outside all day, every day. That's it for the game. But again, cool game. It's on the Solana blockchain. This is happening. So that our last article, the free-to-play web games hold the key to mass adoption. Yes, it is happening. Technology is improving. It will only be so long, people, before you get the free version of Call of Duty, right? Whatever, like as good as it can get, best graphics I can get, the free version of Call of Duty, which technically they already have with Warzone, but they own it. I'm talking about the open source free version where anyone owns it type of deal. Once we get one of those and someone adds the tokenomics to it, like they just did with this game I just clicked on and played, it is over. Mass adoption is coming. I mean, what if Grand Theft Auto 6 puts a cryptocurrency in it? Literally, if Grand Theft Auto 6 today were to say, hey, you know what? Tomorrow we got ABC token will be the official token of Grand Theft Auto 6. Official token ABC is about to be worth $100 a token. I don't care if they made 1 billion of them. The price is going up. So I think this is the future. It's happening. It's finally starting to get integrated. It works and it's fun. Again, I was on that game yesterday, and I'll be fair, 30 minutes I might have said that to seem cool. I might have been on that game for an hour yesterday. People, I was playing like 1 a.m. It was 2 a.m. when I looked up. All right, I was over there just slapping stuff all night. So seriously, the game looks fun. This is the first iteration of these things. I have not done a deep dive of how it works, how long you can play and make money or whatever. I see they have their own 2 different tokens in there, but it's working. It is a working product. And you know me, that's what I like to see. I like to see working products. So when it comes to stuff like that, Solana now to me is valuable. It's worth, it has a little bit more value. I won't say valuable. It has increased its value for sure. It's definitely increased its value with that being in the background. I didn't know that was happening in the back. So now I got to do my deep dive on Solana blockchain and a few other tokens and see what other new things have popped up in the last couple of months I haven't been paying attention to. Again, this is like a year old or so, but there have been recent updates and it popped up on the site I was using, that crazy game site. I was going there and play some quick games. So, I mean, just wow, people, you saw it. Like you just saw what I saw too. It's a fun game. It's happening. So we shall see. Voice Crypto said King Gaming channel coming soon. Listen, before I'm dead, I'm definitely gonna have a gaming channel. Yes, this is definitely happening. Let's see. I'm still building mine called Take Profit. I'm considering making that free at some point. Okay, there we go. We got game developers in here. DM Carr said called it Take. This is called Mini Royale. My fault for the sound. I was trying to get the name of this. This is called Mini Royale. Mini Royale Nations. Mini Royale Nations on the Solana blockchain. Mini Royale Nations. I actually did a quick search. It looks like one content creator, Satoshi Gaming. Shout out to Satoshi Gaming. It's a woman. She already did a review on this. It looks like a year ago. And just from looking at the review a year ago, you can already tell they made some changes, whatever, with graphics and everything. So, yeah, I mean, again, I was in shock, people, but pretty cool to see. All right, other than that, that is the show for the day. Make sure you smash that like and share. The show was not updated last week. That was on my end. Some things on the back end I had to update, but they have been updated. So check out the podcast by the end of today. Today, the show will be updated, including this episode also. Again, make sure you smash that like and share. As the news continues to be slow, I'm going to keep doing Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. So I'll see you all again on Wednesday. But other than that, that's the show for the day. Check you out then. Cheers.